Okay, we're live. GM everyone, we have Anatoli from Force Prime with us, and we quickly wanted to run through what Force Prime is, but of course, we're going to let Anatoli give us a quick introduction about himself, and we can take it forward from there.
Jam, everyone, happy to be here. And yeah, sure. Quick intro. So, I and my team, my co-founders from Post Prime, we spent almost 15 years in Web2 gaming as game developers. And after that, we decided that we want to switch to Web3. And last 5 years were spent in Web3 gaming industry.
Got it. Nice. So, 15 years is the time you spent building games. Is that right?
Yeah, right.
Got it. And have you always been a gamer before that?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. Do you have any favorites?
Favorites. Well, I love a lot of games to be honest.
Yeah.
From the last titles, I'll probably highlight the Marvel Snap.
Got
It's
it.
really brilliant from the game design and UX perspective. But yeah, I play a lot of games, like new ones, old ones, different ones.
Nice. What was your like? You did mention that you then started into crypto, and that's where your journey began. But like, when did you start? What was that like for you? What got you to dive into crypto in specific?
Well, the whole team were math guys, so we used to be crypto as users, and we like one day in Web2 gaming, we just realized that if you want to focus on the UX and less on marketing, you have to find another niche because Web2 market is really overheated. And we
Hmm.
decided that we want to build games that have really great UX. So we decided that, yeah, we have a ton of experience in gaming, we in game development, and we are like crypto's users. So it makes a ton of sense, as we thought at that point, to go and try do something in Web3.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, do you have any games that stood out to you in Web3? I'm assuming that was one of the things that you couldn't find something that was that up to the mark, and that's why you wanted to build something out yourself. Or did you have any like inspirations that were local to crypto that were trying their best or like good enough as far as games are concerned?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of all existing Web3 games.
Yeah.
We see some of really good stuff building right now, but when we talk about gaming, it shouldn't be a game really, because in Web3 you can see a lot of, let's call them game patterns from the game design in the apps that are not games. And
Hmm.
for example, like from the most recent examples, probably Pam.fun,
Yeah.
it's really like gaming stuff. So you have all these gaming loops, and from the game design perspective, that's a really great game, but they do not pretend to be a game, really. And so we do answer on your question. I'm not a huge fan of Web3 games so far, but
Mhm.
I have a ton of inspiration from different apps that where I can see a lot of gaming patterns with Web3 native patterns.
Got it. That's interesting because I think there's a lot of perspectives around whether games in crypto are fun or not, or Web3 are fun or not, and that primarily boils down to the fact that sometimes it's either leaning one way, like one way a lot more than the other. Sometimes there are people that would be like, okay, let's financialize everything in a game. Sometimes there are folks that would be like, let's not financialize anything so that we can make the best game possible. But I think it's the perfect blend in between, because there is an element of crypto and financialization. You can't naturally avoid it. So I'm assuming that's what would make games here especially unique. If you're trying to compete with the outside world, I suppose. Do you have thoughts on how you think about financializing financializing a game or a world or an ecosystem versus just making it fun?
Well, we're trying to join both. So basically, the game is about fun at the
Yeah.
very beginning. So you're going to, when you enter any game, you pretend, to cope with some obstacles or challenges. And coping with these challenges, you're having fun. And if you remove these obstacles, then it will be not fun anymore. So
Yeah.
the game should be fun at the very beginning, and when we talk a lot about financialization and possible financialization for the game, and I'll probably do some brief alpha about what we're going to release. But yeah, we're going to introduce some Web3 native mechanics that are based on Web3 native loops around financialization, but they're fun from the very beginning. So it's
Yeah.
like at the first step, they're fun, and on the second step, they're using financialization. So they're using financialization at the same like time as they're using blockchain as a technology under the hood, but not as the reason, to be financialized because we want to do this.
I agree. I think it's a facilitator more than anything else. You have a fun game and then you add elements of blockchain or crypto that enhance an experience that was otherwise not possible in the Web 2 world or in traditional gaming, I suppose. So yeah, that completely adds up. How would you describe what your inspiration was for like Force Prime? Was there a specific inspiration or yeah? Just would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, sure. So imagine that Force Prime. You can imagine Force Prime as I don't know, Olympic stadium,
Hmm.
and so we have multiple layers, and for and on Olympic stadium we have probably tracks and some also some athletes trying to compete with each other to win something. And for this layer, we call it in Force Prime the base core mechanic. Um, we like used as an inspiration the Heroes of Might Magic series. That's a turn-based strategy game. It was released something like 25 years ago, but we really love the concept under the hood because it's super complex. So the complexity of the game is insane. So you can it's impossible to master. You're always keep learning, and people still playing the game and keep learning for 25 years. But on other hand, we saw that we can reimagine the whole gameplay so that it will be easy to start, and you can have really cool short single player sessions. So the experience we really wanted to implement is like having a single player chess experience. So
Hmm.
like the game that you can play on your own with your own pace, and at the same time with a very huge room where you can master and improve your skills. That was our inspiration for the part where we have tracks and athletes where they try to compete. But as you know, probably with Olympics, that's why I picked this example. Maybe less than 1% of all participants are athletes, while 99% are just spectators.
Hmm. Right.
And that's very natural because people they do not really love to spend a ton of time because most of them they do not have a ton of time to spend on gaming. So we wanted to implement something super simple, some mechanics where you can join the game, be part of the game in a very passive mode where you do very like small few actions, maybe even not on on a daily basis, but you still can be like a supporter, part of the game, part of this show, and benefit from it, and still use all your strategy and analytic skills, to improve your passive performance. And for this part, let's call the stadium itself around these tracks and athletes. For this stadium, for spectators, we use as inspiration, as I mentioned, a lot of the apps that implemented some Web3 native mechanics, like around speculation, betting on your own strategy, doing your own research, and trying, to overperform other players or spectators. And one of the examples, one of the recent ones, is Pound.fun and some other cool projects that we really use as an inspiration. So yeah, we have multiple layers, and the stadium one that was a secret right before this show. It will be released in August, but now it's not a secret anymore. So we are super bullish on presenting this to the community, and because basically playing Force Prime on a really good level, that's tough. And
Right.
I cannot be a good player myself, even keep in mind that I'm a designer behind the game. But being a spectator and being part of the show and trying to outperform other spectators, that's something that anyone can do with like spending 5 minutes a day.
It's nice. I think you mentioned like a bunch of things. Maybe I want to like take this one like this separate line of thought over here before we jump into the gameplay itself. And anyone that's listening, you can stick around for a bit, and we'll dive there soon. I know people have a bunch of questions. I saw something about um, how to get better at the skills and things like that. What are the best skills to learn? So I'm sure you'll help out there as well. But just some questions over here, right? What would you say helps Force Prime stand out outside of Web3 games? Like you mentioned, you were not a fan of most of the games that you saw. So I'm assuming you spent special efforts in trying to add additional things to this particular experience for like a user.
That's a great question, first of all. And my answer will be that when we started with the Force Prime, before we released Force Prime, as you see today, we spent probably 2 years on different, building different prototypes of different genre,
Yeah.
trying to figure out what is the good, foundation for building like a full on-chain game. And the reason why we spent that many years, because we do not want just to build yet another game with Web3 mechanics. We wanted to build a Web3 native game, full on-chain native game.
Right.
And to be honest, we're still not sure what will be like the best build for this game. But what I'm really sure is that if you want to build something Web3 native today, still, because you do not have any successful benchmarks, the only way to do this is to try to do it in small iterations based
Right.
on some successful loops that you can find in Web2 or Web3, and try to build something on this foundation.
Yeah.
And test it, battle test it. So Force Prime was live 4 weeks after we started. It was like build 0.1, and we're still building. It's still not the final one. We have a ton of things to do. But with every iteration, we received a ton of feedback, a ton of data. We did our some analysis and and then decided to go for the next iteration, and then for the next iteration. And that's how we arrived to our tracks and stadium today, as we see it.
Right.
And I cannot ensure you that in like 5 years it will be completely the same how you see it today, but the speed of evolution is insane, and that's the vibe that I really love in crypto and around Force Prime, where we have a great community of really great players, and we try to learn from all of them.
That's right. Yeah, that makes sense. I think you obviously want to take as much as you can that's available, that's already tried and tested, and build on top of that, especially if it's in crypto or outside of crypto or something that you've done yourself. But maybe I wanted to like briefly expand on this before jump into the gameplay finally. Do you have thoughts on how you perceive or envision on-chain worlds, autonomous worlds? Because that's been a raging topic in the last 1.5 year, at least 1.5, 2 years, where there's been a lot of material that's been poured out about this as to what crypto economies, whether it's virtually immersive worlds or non-immersive worlds, just on-chain worlds in itself, what that looks like. And most people believe these are just games and economies in themselves. Do you have thoughts on what that feels like? Are you is that not related to force primes? Is not It's not part of the vision? Do you have like a broader um, goal of sorts, I suppose?
Yeah, sure. So when we talk about autonomous worlds in general and or gaming in crypto, then because I spent that many years in Web2 gaming, so we had tens of millions of players, and I'm really focused on the end user experience.
Yeah.
So my my comment will be that the last years we talk a lot about the technical side of autonomous world and technical capabilities,
Yeah.
and but probably we should talk more about end user experience and what
Hmm.
novel UX we can introduce, because that's finally what people are looking for. They want to have some fun. I mean, our players, they do not care if it's a Web 2 game, if it's a Web 3 game, on what chain is it, on chain, is it off chain, how we design it.
Yep.
They want to have some fun,
Hmm.
and I'm like a huge, as you know, as you can see, I'm a huge believer in autonomous world concept,
Right.
because I see that we can introduce a ton of novel UX for end user, and it could be starting from the endless UGC content making machine where we can onboard a ton of creators in a like permissionless and trustless manner, and they can build a ton of different content, and some of them can be really exciting, something you can never achieve in a centralized gaming studio,
Yeah.
to like compatibility in a good sense of this word, where people can not only add content as levels in the game, they can improve the game, original game,
Hmm.
based on their experience as players and their vision, and do some really amazing like job with building a game on top of the existing game. That's not something that easy that anyone can do, but I believe that's the road of evolution in gaming, and I believe that in 5 to 10 years we'll see completely different landscape of the UX from the end user perspective. And that's why I'm so focused on full on-chain gaming. Also, I see that because when you put your game full on-chain, you can leverage everything that blockchain grants you. And that's all about on-chain commitments, basically. You can guarantee fair rules, fair gameplay. You can, and based on this, you can enable completely new types of social behavior in games. Something you can, no one can like trust a centralized solution, centralized gaming company, whatever, because they can hack you, they can do something, they can cheat, or they can ban you, whatever. But in decentralized trustless manner, then we can see completely novel behavior, something we never seen before. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to experiment with when I'm talking about this stadium and another layer of complete new social behavior around the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that is a great segue into the gameplay itself. So maybe if you would like to share your screen, we can get started. I'm sure everyone wants to take a look.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So
Uh,
uh,
yes.
that's the Force Prime, and right now the Force Prime you cannot find the stadium part. You can find only the tracks and athletes part, and that means that we have different maps. That's will be tracks, and we have different athletes trying to compete with each other. So let's start with the very first map. That's our campaign map, basically the tutorial map. And I'll pick the anonymous login so I will not connect my wallet to the game.
So
That's
are
one.
these wallet connections non-custodial wallets? So it's like a wallet that you can just
Yeah,
connect or yeah, got
yeah,
it.
yeah. You can connect your wallet if you want to have your like long-term account, or you can use anonymous login option, and we'll just create a burner wallet for you so you can play until
Got it.
you have your session live. And
Nice.
that was designed, to be able to for people to just to test the game
Yeah,
instead of
makes sense.
spending a ton of time trying to connect something, breach something, transfer funds, and so these Web3 UX that nobody loves.
That's true.
So the game right now it's designed in a single play mode. It's a puzzle game, and the puzzle that you have a map, and it's the same map for everyone. And on every map you have some win condition. For this map, it will be you have to kill this
Hmm?
dragon with 500 power. And power, that's something. I'll explain it later. But so you have this win condition that you have to kill the dragon. And also you have some time limit on how many days you have to kill this dragon. And if you are able to kill this dragon faster than this time limit, then you have extra 1k points for every day under this limit. And also you have points for every enemy that you killed. So like power of all enemies that you killed plus 1k points for every day under the limit, and that's your final high score for the map. And right now, players that trying to compete with each other, trying to kill, like to clear the map as fast as possible to get the highest possible score. And the map, this one, it's pretty straightforward. So you have to run through this map. You have some options during your run, and then you have your final boss. So it's
Right.
pretty straightforward and clear, and you can like spend trying, like walking around and trying to like collect different goals, capturing different mines, uh, killing different like monsters in different order, hiring more troops, and then finally you can kill the dragon. So my 5-year-old kid was able to kill this dragon in several weeks,
Nice.
and so it's pretty simple task if you want just to kill this
Yeah,
dragon. That was the reason, so you can play on a relaxed mode just to have some fun.
got
But
it.
if you want to get like the top achievement for this game, and for this map, it will be you have to kill this dragon in less in 1 week. So like you have 7 days limit to kill this dragon. Then that's a completely different puzzle. It's very tough. You have to be very
Mm.
accurate and precise. You cannot spoil any move, otherwise you will not be able to kill the dragon in 7 days. So
Got it.
I've seen on X that someone asked me to show that it's possible to kill the dragon on this map in 7
Mhm.
days. So
Yeah.
let me try to explain how I'll pretend to be like a pro player in Force Prime, but seeing this
Hmm.
map first time, how I'll try, to think about this map.
Yeah.
At the very beginning, I'll try, to do high level overview of this map. So here we have just small island with some gold, and I can collect this gold to be able, to hire troops. Then we have some monster towers. Then I have a tower where I can hire some troops. And then I have a gold mine. It grants me, if I capture it, it will grant me 300 gold per day. And I have also another tower where I can hire troops and another mine. Then I have another territory, pretty huge, and to explore. And I have some shrines that can boost my stats, and I have some artifacts, and another tower where I can hire troops, and 2 more towers. So um, this game, as I said, it was designed in a way as a chess. So you also in this game you have different phases. So you have the opening phase, you have mid game and late game. So during and opening in this game, the opening probably is the most critical part. So you have to be very accurate at the opening phase. And probably if I'll do my runs on this map at the very beginning, I'll try different openings and go probably to somewhere here, and then probably restart again, trying different openings, trying to find the one that I will be like super happy with. So now let me pretend that I'm trying, to design some opening for this part. I think that my opening will end on this tower, so that will be like green, like light green part will be my opening. So basically, my advice will be you should get as many troops as you can, and because that's critical. So you cannot go like to the next phase without troops. So
Hmm.
I have 2 towers here, centaurs and dwarves. You probably should trust me, but you need 3K gold to hire all dwarves and
Right.
2.5K to hire all centaurs. So that means that I need 5.5K something in total. In every gold pile, it's 1K. So I need 5 piles. And also I will get some gold from this mine, and I have my base income. It's 100 per turn. So I do not really need to capture all these files because I will spend maybe a ton of time walking around this part of the map. Instead of these, I need to get 2 of these and 3 of these. So let's do it. Also, you should be accurate when you're doing your pathfinding, because if I just press I want to get this tile of gold, then it will drive me here on this way. But I don't want to go this tile up. I want to go stay on tile down and go here and get this free move. Also with this
Right.
pile, so I have, and now I go to kill this group of guys, and I'm gonna get these tile, these piles. So I hire all of them, so like 2.4K gold. And now I go to the second part. I kill these enemies because I don't really have any other choices, and I have to capture these mine to get more gold. So now straight to dwarves, because I know that I need 3K of gold to hire all of them, and I don't really need to fight with these guys to get this mine, because I want to go to the dragon as fast as I can because I have my 7 days limit. So you can see here that I have one extra dwarf available. And here I have only 10 move points. That means that I can do only one extra step. So the trick here is that I want to skip these 10 points. So I want to next day to start. So I have my new income. So I have enough money to hire this extra dwarf. Now with this army, I go to kill this vampire to go to the next part. And that's where I have the mid game. So my opening, let's call it like this, is over. Now I have the mid game. So now I have to think differently about what should I do. And that's my number one decision, is because I just got my level up, I can boost one of my stats of my hero that will influence the second part of the game on this map. I can boost attack, and with this, if I boost attack, then my troops will do more attack. If I boost defense, I will lose less units on every clash. If I boost wealth, for every point, I will have 100 more gold for every day. But I know that day number 4 already, and I have 7-day limit. So I want to get speed, because with every speed point, I will have 2 extra steps, these 2 green extra steps every day. So I want to move faster because I want really to be fast. So I take this shrine for the attack because it's on my way. And now I still have like 240 something power, and I need more troops to be able, to kill this 500 power dragon. And to hire troops, you need gold. So here I have different options. I have this pile, but it's far away. I have this mine, but it takes a ton of time, for mine to produce gold. And I have two piles here, so I'll go for them because it's more or less on my way, and I will not lose that many days. Then I need to go here, and I see that on my way I have one artifact that can amplify my attack. It's pretty close to my path, so I will take it, because now with every stat boosted, I have my army power higher and higher. So I have these gold, and also be accurate with your pathfinding. So I can hire some 8, but in reality you have to hire as many as you can. And now I also have another artifact, so it's pretty close. I want to take it because I will have more defense, but as I mentioned, you have to be very accurate with your pathfinding, because your pathfinding will drive you here, and you will lose another extra move. So
Right.
if you remember, I saved one move here with my pathfinding trick with pile of gold, and I will save another step here. So now I just go to kill this devil, and that's the late stage of the game. Now because that's day number 6. So yes, I'm still in a rush, but if I spend my extra point on the speed, then I will get only it for my last day, because it's day 6 already. So I would just have 2 extra moves. That's not so smart, because I will get not that many options. But if I'll spend it on attack, I will have my power boosted, and because I'm trying to hire more units, and my attack stats will amplify not only my existing units, but also all units that I will hire later. So I just go directly to this monks, and like as I mentioned, I can hire only three of them, but it makes no sense, to save money. You should hire as many as you can. So I hire monks, then I go to hire. It's day six, so that's my last day. I go directly to angels to hire more angels. So I go and hire, so I can do like four of them. So as I mentioned, you should like hire maximum always, so press maximum. And so let me go here. So now I'm right at the dragon. You
Hmm.
can see here that it's like 10 points. That means it's one move only. I cannot go like two steps, one step, my last step to just to go and kill the dragon.
Right.
So I saved one step here and at least one step here. And in case that I'll just go with my direct pathfinding, then I will be like minus one step and will not be able to kill the dragon. So I can go and win 7 days. That's exactly how this game works.
Got it.
My explanation was very simplified. If you go to the Force Prime Discord, you can find some videos from other maps where our top players recorded their like super high scores on these maps during the tournament, and where they here we have just like achievement, but during the tournament they compete to each other, and it's really tough. High scores are insane, and you can see how many different strategy decisions they're making during the game, during the opening, during the mid game and late game, how they act really differently, and that's super cool. So
Yeah.
this game could be super easy to play, but if you want to do your like best, then there is no limit how you can master.
Makes sense. How are you, what is the so the tournament is a one time thing, or do you do this very often, or the like seasons? How is the tournament done?
Yeah, the tournament is designed in a way of seasons. So you have
Got it.
uh, 4 week season, and during this season, you have your personal achievements where you can get your season points based on your performance in campaigns and tournament maps. And in tournament maps, we have different maps. So we have long weekly tournaments like this, where we have map. It's like with a large map with a ton of challenges, and players have 1 week to like set their top score. And so you see that Jesus, he's like the legend of Force Prime. He has like super high score, and other guys they have different high scores. But to be honest, if I go and play here, I will do like 30 something K, definitely not 45, and so that's tough. Also,
Yeah.
we have like maps where we have blitz tournaments, and for the blitz tournaments, it's a smaller map where people have just 2 hours to do the high score, and based on these high scores, players get their like season points. So we'll see that like top five players will get their season points, and Jesus is always the top one. But based on all challenges, all maps, we have the season top,
Got it.
and where you have all your season points from your campaign maps performance and tournament map performance.
Got it. Does this also register in something like a profile? Like, do you have a user or a gamer profile where everything is accounted for them to look at as a milestone or achievement or an experience of sorts?
Um, well, You cannot check someone's profile yet.
Got it.
That's a cool feature. It's on the roadmap, but right now we're focused on bringing
The
our
gameplay itself.
stadium feature
Yeah.
live. Yeah. So you have your like own
Season progress. Okay.
like season progress, like season map, and you have your achievements, and you can play, have some fun, and the cool thing here that your performance and progress is not like connected to other players. So you
Right.
shouldn't be as good as Jesus or other top players to have get your achievements and claim rewards.
Correct. So it's not necessarily a PvP battle where you're trying to compete with someone to win their prize. Your milestones are yours to complete and
Exactly.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you can easily like start playing, get your gems. That's something that we used to call force front points. That's our internal uh, currency, and it will be in your profile. And pretty soon, these gems will be very valuable, I would say. So
Got it.
it makes sense to do your single player map achievements, collect gems, and then you'll be able to do some to get something valuable for those
Yeah.
gems.
Okay. Interesting. I'd love to know what components of the game are on chain. How is it
Um,
architected?
yeah, well, everything is on chain. That's the
Got it.
problem. Because as you've seen, even playing this small tutorial map, I
Right.
did a ton of clicks, and every click is a transaction. And
Hmm.
so for every single session, we can have thousands of transactions, and that's pretty challenging. So we have a pretty high TPS rate during our Blitz tournaments, and
Right.
yeah,
Makes sense. Yeah,
yeah.
I would
So everything
imagine.
is on chain right now. Yeah.
Yeah. That is interesting. So, but are the points also registered on chain then, the gems as you call it now?
We have right now two parts because
Okay.
we cannot really bring all these transactions on the mainnet because it will
Right.
be just down and UX will be terrible. So that's the reason why we're building on the Starknet, because we will be able to introduce the off-chain architecture, provable architecture, where you play
Right.
your map off-chain and then in a proper manner, because all gameplay logic is written on Cairo. Then
Right.
we be able to create a single zero knowledge proof and submit it on chain to verify if you want to submit your high score. So nobody can cheat, but at the same time, you can play this very complex game off chain.
Got
And
it.
for this reason, this part is on the DevNet right now because we cannot really put it on the mainnet. But the stadium part, where we'll have, I will present it later in our X account or in Discord, so follow us. But on the stadium component, it will be on the mainnet. So the like this passive game for spectators, it will be on the mainnet. So we'll basically connect two parts, mainnet and DevNet, in one game, and that's super interesting. It will be like one step before the client-side proving architecture as an MVP showcase, so that we can have the meta game on the mainnet at the same time you're playing your maps and your like sessions off chain from the mainnet.
Got it. Makes sense. Do you have any other major features that you can share as alpha or that are coming along soon enough?
Yeah. Um, well, right, like next week, we're going to introduce heroes. That will be major step for the stadium part. Um, in
Nice.
the game, you'll be able to pick different heroes and play with these heroes on your map. So basically, right now, when you click this play button, you go directly to the map. With this new update, you'll be able to press this play button and then pick different heroes with different stats. And these different heroes will have like very serious influence on how you will play this map because they will be designed in a completely different ways.
Got it. Interesting. That's nice. I think that's like another piece of alpha and information for everyone. And of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
do hang out in the Discord server, and yeah, that would give you much more information, I suppose. I mean, I think you've answered most questions that I had, and I think some of the questions that people had as well. But I'd love to know from you if you have any closing thoughts that you want to share with the audience that you think is a good call to action for them to know something they should be aware of, maybe even potentially um, a skill they should pick up, something that would help them out, I suppose.
yeah, sure. So, if you love strategy games, definitely go and try to play Force Prime. Check out Discord and videos and try to learn and master. You have a ton of fun trying to compete with other top players. But if you do not really love strategy games, still I think it makes sense for you to, but you like a really Web3 native user or even a Degen. Uh, if you love all the things, then you should probably still join our Discord, follow us on X, because in August we're gonna introduce a completely novel UX, super interesting and as simple as minting an NFT. So nothing you should learn, but you should be familiar with the Force Prime ecosystem and how people play and what's the game behind these. But these new mechanics designed for Digens would be really, really cool, I'll say. So check it out.
Got it. Perfect. All right, then. I think that's about it. That's a wrap for tonight's session. But thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, and I was super happy to present our game and our vision to the Starknet audience because we're like Starknet maxis, and I'm so happy that we have this technology here, and this technology enables us to to bring this novel experience, something you cannot do not only in Web2 but on any other chain.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure the audience took a lot away from this episode. So thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much, and see you. Have a great day, everyone.